Pi time 2, can you try to get the flag? I'm not revealing anything anymore. Connect to the program with netcat. Program source code can be downloaded here. Binary can be downloaded there. Vulnerability can be exploited to leak the address. Please be mindful of the size of the pointer. So it's probably a 64-bit executable, I would guess. Let's try to grab those things. Come on, copy. On my Ubuntu machine. Copy paste is being annoying. That's going to get me vuln. Vuln.c. All right. So what do we have? We have a segfault handler. We have enter your name. Oh, what we have here is a format string vulnerability. We have a printf without, the quote %s quote that you would expect. So I get user input as a format string. That's going to allow me to leak information from the stack. And it asks for an address to jump to, just like before. So what I'll be able to do is, from this point, if I leak the stack, I can leak what the return address for call functions is. That should be somewhere in main, and in win rather. No, not in win, in main. Yes, I'll find this address in main. Once I know that address, I can change the last bit of it to point to win, and then I'll put in that value. All right, so just type this rest because copy paste was being annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to enable me to walk up the stack and find where my buffer begins. So I'm going to dump 8 bytes at a time with this %LLX, printing it out in hexadecimal. All right, I don't see myself yet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. %7. 8. Okay, so there I was with this. That's my 8th parameter. So my 8th parameter up the stack is the beginning of my buffer. Okay, so now let's try to find that return address on the stack. So we decided that was going to be in the main method. There's win. Here's main. So the return address is going to end in 441. So as I walk up the stack, I'm going to look for a number that ends in 441. And I'm going to change that 441 to 36A. All right, so we walk up the stack till we find the 441, change it to 36A. 8. So we knew that we'd already made it to 11, right? So let's go. All right, we haven't found it yet. Okay, so there's that 441. So if I put in that address, 930D, and it was 36A for win. This should be, I have to type it right, 5A 001930D 36A. So that should be the return address. I changed the last nibbles, so that's the address of win. It should jump to that address and print out the flag. Okay, pi shouldn't leak. That's great. Now, let's think about like, how could we have found that maybe without just sort of walking up the stack? So we already found ourselves with the 8. So we could look at the assembly code again. That was in that call functions. We know the stack is 96 bytes long. We know that we've pushed the old value of the frame pointer before. So you'd have like the return address, frame pointer. All right, so here, this is where it is doing the printf for the format string vulnerability. And that's 50 hex, which is 80 bytes south. Then we have another 8 bytes for that. So 88 is 11 when you divide that by 8. So it should be 11 more than our 8 that we found, which is 19, which is what we found, right? So when we did the netcat, we did %19. That gave us that return address ending in the 441. And so we can just take that and then put in the same prefix and then the last 3 nibbles for win, and their pi shouldn't leak.